Chapter 4602. Upon hearing Su Yu's words, Wei Liao quickly patted young Master Tang's back. "All right, eat your food. Mind your own business." Huamin ate very quickly and was soon full. Tang Chuan, Wei Liao, and Su Yu occasionally talked about things in the industry. She couldn't get a word in edgewise. She looked at her watch and realized that it was getting late. Huamin stood up. "Su Yu, I'm going back first." Su Yu didn't want to stay any longer. After all, he didn't want Huamin to think that he had ulterior motives. Su Yu, on the other hand, started to act coquettishly. "Big Magnesium, take a look at my wound. That's more important." Huamin crossed his arms and looked at Su Yu's leg. He smiled and said, "I don't think there's a need to look at it. I think you're almost like a normal person. You can walk and run. After a week, you can even jump. I've already seen your scans at the hospital. It's just a ligament strain. Don't be so nervous. Just rest well." It was really awkward to have a white lie exposed. That was true. Huamin was so smart. How could he not see through this? Seeing that he couldn't make him stay, Su Yu quickly stood up and picked up his jacket. "Boss, let me send Miss Hua off. You haven't eaten much." And felt sorry for his boss and stood up foolishly. "Calm down and sit down. It's none of your business. Your boss is already restless." Tang Chuan smiled. Su Yu glared at Tang Chuan, picked up his jacket, and followed Huamin out. He even said, "The three of you, remember to wash the dishes after eating." Tang Chuan, Wei Liao, and after Su Yu left, the atmosphere became much more relaxed. Wei Liao picked up a piece of beef and said in puzzlement, "Why do I feel like there's something wrong with this kid recently?" Yes. "I also feel that it's a little different from before," Tang Chuan quickly said. Unfroze. "Do you mean my boss is a fake?" Shaoan, on the other hand, was not skilled enough to understand the hidden meaning in these noble young master's words. Wei Liao shook his head. No. That's not what I meant. I just feel that his personality has become much more docile." "I agree. After the car accident, boss has become much more docile. She's not as hot-tempered as before." And nodded like a chick pecking at rice. Wei Liao's words were exactly what he wanted to hear. "Then do you think, it's like in many novels, that this Lord Su is no longer our Lord Su? He's a bastard who transmigrated from ancient times or some other dynasty. Why don't we beat him up when he comes back?" Tang Chuan suddenly had an idea. And then Wei Liao looked at him in unison and said in unison, "Go ahead and beat him up. You'll bear the consequences." Tang Chuan, "All right, stop talking nonsense. It's impossible for him to have transmigrated. I would recognize this guy's aura even if he turned into ashes. We grew up with him, so how could we not know him? Lord Su is definitely still Lord Su. It's just that although his personality is roughly the same as before, his temper has matured a lot. This feeling is like, I'm looking at Lord Su in his 30s. Although his face hasn't changed, his mind has matured a lot." Wei Liao's description was spot on. In essence, Su Yu had indeed transmigrated from his 30s. Therefore, although he had a young body, his mind was that of a 30-year-old Su Yu. However, no one would have thought of such a mysterious thing. Chapter 4603. After listening to Wei Liao's words, Tang Chuan nodded in agreement. "Yeah, you don't say. Old Wei, your analysis is quite reasonable. Could it be that after this car accident, Lord Su saw through life and death and his personality changed drastically? That's possible. When people are on the verge of life and death, they can understand a lot." In order not to be ostentatious and not show off, Su Yu deliberately chose a very low-key black Audi A6. He originally planned to use it for the company, but the company later bought another brand. This old A6 was still in use. Su Yu often drove a black Lamborghini Sixth Element. After that, he drove a Ferrari, followed by a Porsche. He rarely used other cars. But now, there were 7 or 8 cars parked in Su Yu's super garage. So, in consideration of Huamin's feelings, it was better to drive this Audi. After all, Huamin lived in the old city area, and the residents there went to bed early. If he drove a supercar there, the noise would be very disturbing. Get in the car, it's cold. Huamin naturally opened the door to the front passenger seat and sat in it. He did not sit in the back seat like a stranger, which made Su Yu very happy. So low-key today? After seeing Su Yu choose this car, Huamin was slightly surprised. Yeah, it's so late. Your neighbors are probably all asleep. I don't want to disturb them. Huamin smiled slightly. At least you have a conscience. Su Yu looked wronged. I've always had a conscience, okay? Huamin smiled but did not say anything. Su Yu slowly drove away from the villa area and headed in the direction of Huamin's home. On the way, to ease the awkward atmosphere, Su Yu turned on the music and played a very soothing light music. Hey Bandrai, you have good taste? Huamin also liked to listen to this band's light music, so he was surprised that a violent person like Su Yu would like that kind of light music. My taste has always been good. After Su Yu said that, he smiled and looked at Huamin. Huamin suddenly realized that Su Yu looked a little childish when he smiled. He was so naive. It felt like pinching his face. You're looking at me so seriously. Are you in love with me? Su Yu deliberately asked him. Yeah, I love you. Huamin. Then, if you propose to me, I'm in a good mood, I might say yes. I don't want you to be with me. I have no house, no car and no car. I can't have you like this. It's hard for you. Su Yu's hands on the steering wheel were a little excited. It's okay, I have everything. You can live at my house. How can I do that? If our finances aren't balanced, there will be a lot of family conflicts in the future. Your family won't like a commoner like me. It's okay, as long as I like you, Su Yu jokingly confessed to Huamin. Huamin was a little embarrassed. He turned his head and looked out the window. That won't do. I don't like rich people. I'm not rich, I'm super rich. I don't like super rich either. Huamin pursed his lips and smiled. Then you can try. I'll give you a free trial for 3 months. If you're satisfied, you can order more. What do you think? There's no free lunch in this world. Cheap things aren't good, and good things aren't cheap. Su Yu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. So, are you saying that I'm cheap or that I'm not good? What do you think? Huamin couldn't stop laughing. Time passed quickly as the two of them chatted. In the blink of an eye, they arrived near Huamin's house. Suddenly, Su Yu saw a man standing in front of her house. Huamin was also a little surprised. He narrowed his eyes and looked at the figure. Chapter 4604. After Huamin saw who it was, he pushed open the car door and got out of the car emotionally. Su Yu wasn't in a hurry to get out of the car. After all, it was someone else's private matter. He calmly observed. Huamin walked over emotionally. Su Yu rolled down the car window and could clearly hear their conversation. You're back? Ning Ziyuan glanced at Huamin's black Audi with a complicated expression. What are you doing here? Huamin glared at him coldly. Su Yu looked at the man carefully through the light. He and Ning Ziyuan had barely seen each other. When Huamin and Ning Ziyuan were fighting, Su Yu hadn't appeared yet. Qin Chu had taken care of everything. However, Qin Chu didn't exist in this world, so Su Yu suddenly felt a little excited. It seemed like his chance had come. He had to perform well in front of Mian and get bonus points. Mian, I think I should apologize to you. No matter how much Ning Ziyuan pretended to be depressed, he couldn't win Huamin's sympathy. What he did was something Huamin, who was obsessed with cleanliness, couldn't tolerate. Huamin sneered. Apologize? What's there to apologize for? It's so funny. Are you drunk? I'm not drunk, Mian. I'm serious. Are you apologizing for cheating? No, we're not married. You can call it cheating. Yes. Are you apologizing for cheating? Or are you apologizing for embezzling tens of thousands of yuan from my savings? Or is there another reason? Mian, how about this? Pay back the money first. Give me my 60,000 yuan, and we'll talk about the rest later. Huamin was really angry. She hadn't worked for long after graduation. Where did she get so much savings? It wasn't even part of her mother's money. Her brother was still in school, and life was hard enough. When she first met Ning Ziyuan's family, she felt that they were a simple family. Their family was not as well off as Huamin's family. They lived in a remote village and could only rely on some cornfields and some mountain products to sell for money. Therefore, Ning Ziyuan's family only managed to scrape together 50,000 yuan. It was said that 15,000 yuan was borrowed from his aunt. Therefore, Beauty Yang felt sorry for her daughter and took out her savings. Just like that, the two families pooled together a down payment. In the end, when it was time to confirm the purchase of the house, the incident between Ning Ziyuan and Nurse He-Man was exposed. Most importantly, He-Man was pregnant, so she had no choice but to get married. Huamin would be lying if he said he wasn't sad. He didn't have any feelings for Ning Ziyuan. However, he felt that he had been blind all those years. The feeling of not being able to judge people and hating himself was hard for others to understand. The two of them, who had not seen each other for a long time, met again here. Huamin was very excited. If it weren't for his manners, he would have cursed this scumbag to death. Su Yu heard clearly that Huamin seemed to be asking Ning Ziyuan for a sum of money that belonged to him. Mian, I don't have that much money on hand right now. I already used it to buy a house when I got married. Wow, using my hard-earned money to buy a house for your wife? You're a Marvel hero. Even Captain America's character isn't as good as yours. You love your wife. I applaud you. Huamin raised his hand and clapped, making Ning Ziyuan even more embarrassed. Man, I know I owe you. Don't worry, I will definitely pay you back. Now? Huamin stretched out his hand. Now I don't have it. Ning Ziyuan smiled awkwardly. If you don't have money, why are you looking for me? Huamin was not only cold, but he also cursed. Not far away, Su Yu couldn't help but laugh out loud when he heard Huamin curse. This caused Ning Ziyuan to look over. Chapter 4605. Huamin also glanced at Su Yu. Su Yu realized that he had crossed the line and immediately shut up. Huamin looked at Ning Ziyuan. Get lost, don't stand in my way. When you have enough money, send it to me. Since we know each other, I'll charge you 30% interest. If you drag it out for 10 years, I'll be rich. 30%? Are you a loan shark? Ning Ziyuan looked aggrieved. Huamin smiled. You're thinking too much. Loan sharks are 50%. They won't be as kind as me. Mian, I came here today to tell you that. I want to make up with you. Say that again? I want to make up with you. Say that again? I want to make up with you. The signal is bad. Say that again? Huamin deliberately leaned over to listen. Ning Ziyuan. He finally realized that he had been fooled by Huamin. Su Yu wanted to laugh again, but he didn't dare to this time, afraid that Huamin would be angry. I'm serious. I'm serious too. Why don't you go back first and let me rest? I'm not in the mood to talk to you today. After speaking, Huamin was about to walk into the courtyard. Mian, I want to divorce He-Man. Ning Ziyuan finally said this like a man. Huamin stopped and turned around to look at him. What does your divorce have to do with me? I want to end everything with He-Man and start over with you. Ning Ziyuan, look up at the sky. After Huamin said this, Ning Ziyuan obediently raised his head and looked at the sky. There was no moon tonight, and the sky was pitch black. Do you see a spaceship? It's round, and it's so big? Spaceship? Ning Ziyuan froze and continued to look. You believe everything others say. So, a fool like you isn't suitable for me. I'm afraid that your children will be retarded. Ning Ziyuan, don't joke around. If you want to start over with me, you won't even be able to get in line in your next life. It's none of your business. Get back to where you came from, don't affect my mood. Mian, are you so against me because you found a new lover? Ning Ziyuan anxiously pointed at the Audi and roared. What does it have to do with you whether I have a new lover or not? Huamian said matter-of-factly. When you're in school, you're a woman who doesn't know how to suck up to others. Now, aren't you a vulgar woman now? You agree just because I have an Audi. You're really worthless. If I buy a BMW, would you be willing to sleep with me? Ning Ziyuan was probably angered by Huamin, so his words were extremely vicious. Su Yu was anxious when he heard this and opened the car door in exasperation. Before he could get angry, Huamin held his bag and threw it at Ning Ziyuan's head. He didn't forget to kick him as he did so. From the looks of it, he didn't show any mercy. Ning Ziyuan was probably hurt from the hit, so he raised his arm to retaliate. His hand reached for Huamin's collar. In the blink of an eye, Su Yu dashed forward. He picked up Ning Ziyuan from behind and lifted his feet off the ground. "Who the fuck are you?" Ning Ziyuan turned his head. Before he could finish speaking, he was punched in the face. "Ah!" He screamed in pain from the beating. Huamin was also stunned. When did Su Yu rush up? It seemed to be quite timely. Before Ning Ziyuan could react, Su Yu picked him up with one hand and punched and kicked him. It was obvious that Su Yu was beating the scumbag one-sidedly. The scumbag didn't have the strength to fight back. After all, Su Yu's punch was too heavy. Chapter 4606. Who the fuck are you? Do you believe that I'll call the police and arrest you? Su Yu took out his phone from his pocket and threw it at him. Come on, call me now. Hurry up. Ning Ziyuan picked up his phone with trembling hands. He looked at Huamin while looking at this man. Huamin couldn't bear to see Su Yu hit Ning Ziyuan. She didn't care how badly Ning Ziyuan was beaten up. However, Su Yu's fist was broken. Your hand is injured. It's nothing. Su Yu smiled. At this moment, Ning Ziyuan looked particularly funny. Hello, is this the police? I'm the victim. Someone hit me here. Yes, the perpetrator is still here. However, Ning Ziyuan successfully revealed the address of Huamin's house. The nearby police station arrived in less than 5 minutes. They were also very efficient. The sound of the police car immediately alerted many neighbors and they came out to watch. Su Yu pushed Huamin hard. He pushed her into the courtyard. At this moment, Huamin's mother and brother came out to see what was going on. Sis, you're back, Jixin asked. What's going on outside? Why are there police cars? 2 drunk people got into a fight. Are you okay? Did it affect you? Jixin quickly walked up to see if his sister was okay. I'm fine, I was just passing by. It's nothing to do with me. You two are fine too. Don't go out to see what's going on. Let's go back. Huamin put his arm around Jixin's shoulder and walked inside. Your sister is right. Let's go inside. What's there to see? I'll lock the door now. Yang Merong quickly locked the door of the courtyard from inside. After all, a woman with a pair of children living in such a bungalow area was afraid of causing trouble. Su Yu pushed Huamin away in time, so Huamin stayed out of it. When the police arrived, they were still very arrogant. However, when he saw Su Yu, he immediately cowered. The leader politely said to Su Yu, Young Master Su, why are you here? Su Yu's appearance was known to all the police officers in the city. It was the same for the traffic team. They were afraid that they would accidentally offend this ancestor. His career as a police officer would come to an end. Not to mention small policemen like them, even the big leaders of the city bureau had to be polite to them. Su Yu's father and grandfather were not just big shots in Sea City. The Su family had been an aristocratic family for decades. They were deeply rooted here, and their connections extended in all directions. It was true that they were in a high position, but it was also true that they never bullied the common people. So, over the years, Su Yu had been involved in scandals of fighting with others. At most, there were rumors about him and a female celebrity. Young Master Su? Ning Ziyuan was still dumbfounded. What young Master Su? Why did even the police officers in the local police station know this guy? What was this guy's background? Su Yu lit a cigarette impatiently. Then, he glanced at the police officer and said, Take us back to the police station first. Don't disturb the people here. The neighbors here need to sleep too. After saying that, Su Yu didn't forget to look at Huamin's door. Young Master Su is right. We'll leave immediately. But young Master Su, you don't have to go back with us. You can drive away directly, the captain said. Police, he can't leave. He's a pervert who beat me up. You can't let him go. Ning Ziyuan insisted on not letting Su Yu go. You shut up. The captain turned around and scolded the nameless junior who had a terrified look on his face. Su Yu shook his head. I can't leave. I have to go back to the police station with you to make a statement. No need, no need. I wouldn't dare to trouble you. The captain was scared out of his wits. I have to go with you because I still have a score to settle with this bastard. How about this, Captain, you go back first. I'll drive after you. I'll see you in the station later. Chapter 4607. In the end, the police officers at the police station listened to Su Yu's suggestion. They used the police to bring Ning Ziyuan back. Su Yu, on the other hand, drove to the police station. When they arrived at the police station, Ning Ziyuan was locked up in a small room without a word. Su Yu sat in the captain's seat and someone even poured tea for him. What a double treatment. Young Master Su, take your time, we'll listen. There's no rush, have some tea first. The captain looked at Su Yu politely and smiled. Su Yu glanced at the teacup indifferently. As for the tea, I won't drink it. It's late and I won't be able to sleep. Yes. I wasn't considerate enough. I'll get you a glass of water. No need, I'm not thirsty either. I'll just say a few words. I didn't know this scumbag before. I was on my way home when I saw him waiting at my friend's door with a wretched expression. He harassed my friend and even wanted to use force on her. I only intervened because I wanted to protect my friend. That's the gist of it. If you don't believe me, you can investigate and check the surveillance cameras nearby. No, young Master Su is a man of his words. There's no need to lie about his identity and status. We'll definitely deal with it seriously. There's one more thing. I heard that he still owes my good friend 60,000 yuan. I think. Su Yu wanted to say something but stopped himself. However, the captain was smart and immediately understood what Su Yu meant. Leave this to us. It's late. Young Master Su, you should go back and rest. Su Yu nodded, got up, and walked to the door. He turned back and said, I don't want to see this person at my friend's door or at work in the future. Young Master Su, don't worry. We know what to do. Su Yu nodded and drove away with a smile. As soon as Su Yu left, the police captain immediately interrogated Ning Ziyuan. It was true that he waited at Huamin's door and harassed Huamin. It was also true that he owed Huamin 60,000 yuan. None of this was made up by Su Yu. During the interrogation, Ning Ziyuan kept saying that Huamin was his ex-girlfriend and that the two of them had dated before. There was no such thing as harassment. But the police didn't care. When the captain heard Su Yu talking to him, every time he described this woman, he would use the word good friend. Moreover, he had used it 3 times. One could imagine how important this woman was to Su Yu. Therefore, they did not listen to Ning Ziyuan at all. He didn't use words to extort a confession, nor did he use violence. He just locked him up like that. Before the captain left, he said, Our brothers are all off work. If this guy doesn't pay us back, we'll let him go 24 hours later. Then, we'll catch him in a few days. Upon hearing this, Ning Ziyuan immediately cowered. With trembling hands, he called He-Man. He-Man drove to pick him up in the middle of the night. She was so angry that the couple even quarreled at the police station. But in the end, He-Man left 60,000 yuan in cash. Later, the captain contacted Su Yu and wanted to give the money to Su Yu. Su Yu said that he could call his good friend directly. 10:30 p.m. When Su Yu returned, Tang Chuan and Wei Liao had already left. Only Lian was still watching TV on the sofa. Boss, you're back? Are you hungry? I'll make you something to eat. I'm not hungry. You should go to bed early. I'm going to sleep after taking a shower. Su Yu seemed to be in a good mood. Sure enough, Su Yu received a message on WeChat not long after. It was a video call from Huamin. Su Yu picked it up happily. Miss Hua, please speak. Don't talk nonsense with me. Su Yu, what happened after that? I got into a fight for you and was brought to the police station by the police. Su Yu said calmly. What? You were brought to the police station? Which police station are you at now? I'll bail you out. Huamin knew that Su Yu was implicated because of him. Chapter 4608. No need. I'm already out. I've already driven home. Are you okay? Huamin was still a little uneasy. After all, Su Yu was indeed implicated because of her. The problem was that she didn't expect Ning Ziyuan to come to her and say things like reconciling. After all, ever since Ning Ziyuan betrayed her, the two of them hadn't seen each other. Now that Ning Ziyuan had a family conflict with the pregnant he-man and was in a bad mood, he went to harass Huamin. He was really the scumbag of scumbags. I'm scared. I'm just scared. Why don't you comfort me? Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Stop fooling around. What time is it? Su Yu giggled for a while. Then, she lay on her big bed in her pure white pajamas. Then she could chat and tease Huamin face to face. It felt good. Su Yu felt that after coming to this world, she seemed to have become more cheerful. She could do whatever she wanted, and she was filled with happiness everywhere. So yeah. Thank you for today, Huamin said. You're just thanking me with your mouth? Su Yu deliberately made things difficult for her. Then I'll give you a red packet later? Huamin probed. Do you think you're richer than me? Su Yu continued to make things difficult for him. Then I'll treat you to a meal? Huamin controlled her temper. Many people want to treat me to a meal. You'll have to wait in line for half a year. Su Yu, don't go too far. Huamin could tell that Su Yu was deliberately teasing her, so her face darkened. Look, now you're showing your true colors. You're so fierce when Ning Ziyuan harassed you. I'm your savior, but you're scolding me instead. What kind of logic is that? Miss Hua, tell me, where did you learn this from? Did your PE teacher teach you that? Huamin laughed again. Tell me, what do you want? How about giving yourself to me? Su Yu asked with a smile. You wish. Huamin also rejected him very straightforwardly. I knew you would say that. Hey, I'll let you go this time. I heard that there's an old street near your alma mater. There's a famous ramen restaurant there. Can you treat me to that one day? How did you know? Huamin was stunned. I looked it up on the reviews. They said it's delicious and cheap. Yes, 2 yuan for a bowl of ramen. The boss has been making it for more than 10 years. It's really not easy. Actually, the noodles aren't that delicious. It's just that our classmates miss the taste of the past. I don't care. I just want to eat. Okay, my treat. At this moment, the video on Huamin's side was suddenly cut off. Su Yu said hello, but there was no response. He guessed that Huamin's phone probably ran out of battery or was cut off by an incoming call. Sure enough, 5 minutes later, Huamin sent Su Yu another video call. What's up? I'm about to fall asleep. Su Yu pretended to be sleepy. Stop pretending. Did you tell the police that Ning Ziyuan owes me money? I just casually mentioned it. It's only right to repay a debt, Su Yu said nonchalantly. Just now, the captain drove directly to my house and gave me the cash. Oh my God. I never dreamed that I would be able to get the money back. Huamin was a little excited. 60,000 yuan was nothing to Su Yu. However, to Huamin's family, this was his mother's hard-earned money and his own salary. She remembered that there was a time when Huamin scrimped and saved to save this money. No matter how hot the summer was, she couldn't bear to eat ice cream. In the end, she received Ning Ziyuan's shameless betrayal. Now that she got the money back, she suddenly felt that the world had become a better place. Chapter 4609. That's a good thing. I have to congratulate you. It's too late tonight. I'll quickly deposit it for my mom tomorrow. Now that you're appeased, Ning Ziyuan probably won't dare to look for you in the future. Huamin was smart. From Su Yu's words, she could tell that he must have said something. A person like Su Yu would naturally be treated well by the local police station. Therefore, she really didn't have to worry about this. But this time, she owed Su Yu such a big favor. Would she be able to pay him back with a bowl of 2 yuan noodles? Huamin lowered her head and thought about these questions. Su Yu looked at her in the video seriously. Her eyelashes were very long. Especially when she looked down, they were especially beautiful. Su Yu. Huamin suddenly raised her head. Su Yu was so scared that he quickly looked away, afraid that Huamin would notice. 2 yuan for a bowl of noodles is too shabby. I'll treat you to something better. But I don't have much money on me right now. When I get my salary at the end of the month, I'll treat you to a meal on the same day. My monthly salary is 4,000 yuan. I'll treat you to a meal with 4,000 yuan. What about you? Don't you have to live for the next month? Su Yu really wanted to scold this silly woman. I'm simple. I have an insulated lunchbox. I can bring food home. Huamin smiled brightly. It was as if this wasn't a bad thing, but Su Yu's heart ached. Why did such a good person like her have to live such a poor life? Hearing her say this made his heart ache. That won't do. I'm not such a heartless person. Let's eat ramen. If one bowl isn't enough, I can eat 2 bowls. Also, I can add 10 yuan of beef and a bottle of soda. After hearing Su Yu's words, Huamin smiled happily. Su Yu still didn't want her to spend money, so this man was actually kind. It seemed that the rumors outside were not true enough. The person who said that Su Yu had an explosive temper and bullied the common people was probably blind, right? At the very least, everyone knew that Su Yu had a bad temper when he was hospitalized. However, he had never bullied the commoners even once. He reckoned that some of his competitors had hired someone to write an advertorials against him. Alright, it's settled then. Mian, I want to eat tomorrow. Tomorrow, are you free? I have one after work. It can be after 4 or 5 o'clock. Ah, that's great. I'm also on the day shift, so I'll get off work at 5 o'clock. Let's meet directly at Second High. Su Yu wanted to say that he would pick her up at South Side, but he was afraid that it would affect Huamin's reputation. So he nodded. Okay, see you tomorrow. After hanging up the video call, Su Yu was still very happy. Then he began to hum a little tune. After lying down for a while, he felt that he couldn't fall asleep. She immediately got up and opened her oversized cloakroom. Let's see what I should wear tomorrow. He looked left and right, but he was still not satisfied. Therefore, Su Yu decided to pick a few clothes and try them on. And who was downstairs, could not help but be worried when he heard the clanging sounds upstairs. Could it be that someone kidnapped my boss? And hurried upstairs and pushed open Su Yu's door. Su Yu almost peed his pants. Fuck? Don't you know how to knock first? Little brat. Boss. I heard something wrong. I thought something happened to you, and stammered. At this moment, Su Yu was wearing a pair of boxers and was about to try on a pair of jeans. However, just as he was about to put them on, and came in, this timing was really hard to explain. Boss, why don't I help you carry them up? And saw that his boss was struggling to put on his pants, so he thought that his leg injury had not healed. Chapter 46:10. Get out of here. You've seen everything. There's no privacy at all. And, on the other side at Huamin's house. Huamin looked at the 60,000 yuan that Su Yu had gotten back for her and how he had helped her in time tonight. She suddenly felt that Su Yu was actually quite a nice person. She turned on her phone, clicked on Su Yu's profile picture, and went straight to his WeChat moments. Su Yu usually had a bad mouth and would say anything. However, that was only with Huamin. He basically did not interact with other women. He was not so free that he would chat with women every day. But of course, Huamin was an exception. Su Yu's WeChat moments were actually very clean. There was no chicken soup for the soul. There was no such thing as not reposting or not being Chinese. There were also no national affairs or hot news that aroused public anger. He would not post videos to show off when he was gathering with his buddies, nor would he show off his watches, luxury cars, and mansions when he was shopping. After all, those were all done by bumpkins. Psychologists had analyzed them. The more people lacked something, the more they would show off. Therefore, those who desperately flaunted their wealth had a twisted personality. To Su Yu, the name Su Yu was already a luxury among luxury goods. There was no need to show off at all. He would just eat rice noodle rolls by the roadside. That would definitely cause quite a commotion. Huamin briefly browsed through Su Yu's WeChat moments over the past few years. She found that there were only a few pieces of news about Imperial Star. It seemed that Su Yu was not a chatterbox, nor was he a man who often sighed. With that thought, she subconsciously added another point to Su Yu. She remembered that she still had an appointment tomorrow to eat noodles together. Huamin quickly turned on her phone to check the weather tomorrow. Fortunately, it was sunny and there was no rain. Huamin only fell asleep after an hour of tossing and turning. The next morning, Su Yu had nothing to do in the morning, so he drove straight back to the Su family's old residence. Initially, she had bought some of her mother's favorite snacks and planned to send them over to visit her. Unexpectedly, he was caught red-handed by his grandfather. Su Yu woke up early and didn't have breakfast. He planned to come to the old mansion for a free meal. Therefore, it was only 7:30 p.m. when they reached home. Old Master Su, on the other hand, was wearing a white Chinese undershirt with half sleeves. He was watering the flowers in the garden in front of him, humming an opera while watering the flowers. He seemed to be in a good mood. This was the first time Su Yu had met the old man after transmigrating to the parallel world. He was actually a little excited. He looked at it for a while, then opened his mouth and shouted, "Grandpa!" When old Master Su heard the sound, he turned his head and smiled lovingly. "Brat, you're back." Su Yu couldn't control the excitement in his heart. He quickly walked over and hugged the old man. "Grandpa, I miss you very much." "What's wrong today? Don't you always call me old man? Why are you being so obedient today? Did you get into trouble outside? Can't settle it? Or do you need Grandpa's help?" The old man deliberately teased his grandson. He knew that Su Yu wasn't the kind of person who liked to cause trouble. Su Yu's eyes were a little red. He refused to let go. "I just haven't seen Grandpa in a long time. I miss you very much." "Nonsense, I only came back last month. I went to the hospital the night of your car accident. After knowing that you were fine, I immediately returned to the capital to continue the meeting. Wasn't I delirious at that time? Now that I've been discharged and have recovered, naturally, I feel that I haven't seen Grandpa in a long time. Little brat, at least you have a conscience." The old man was obviously very happy. Chapter 46:11. "Grandpa, I haven't eaten yet. It's rare for you to wake up so early and come back to see us." "Shuyun." Grandpa called out the cook's name. "Grandpa, what can I do for you? You hasn't had breakfast yet. Make it for him." "Yes, Grandpa." The cook smiled at Su Yu. "Young Master Yu, what would you like to eat? Do you have dumplings?" Yes, they'll be ready soon." "What kind of dumpling filling do you like?" Before Su Yu could speak, Grandpa said for him, "Beef and radish." "Oh, Grandpa, you guessed right. Didn't you eat the most filling in this dumpling? How could you hide it from me?" Grandpa put down the spray bottle in his hand and sat on the rattan chair beside him. "Grandpa, are you still busy in Jing City?" Su Yu sat beside Grandpa and massaged his legs. "It's all right. Although it's not a big deal, there are a lot of small things." Su Yu nodded. "Okay, Grandpa, you're already in good health. Don't keep busy. You have to take care of your health. When it's time to retire, retire. We have plenty of money to support you." "What nonsense are you talking about? Grandpa, you're doing this for money. This salary isn't much. It's not even enough for your clothes. It's just that I feel that I can still do something and serve the country. It's good." Grandpa's voice was loud and clear. It was obvious that he was an old revolutionary soldier. No matter what, he cared about the country. "Little brat, how's your leg?" Grandpa Lord Su looked at Su Yu's leg with heartache. "It's completely healed. It's fine. If I find out that you're speeding again, I'll break your legs," Grandpa deliberately said with a straight face. I understand. Su Yu smiled cheekily. "Your dad seems to be quite busy recently. Didn't you call him to ask?" Su Yu touched the back of his head, a little embarrassed. "You two are big men, what's there to talk about? Don't you know my personality? You're even more stubborn than me. I heard from Mom that he's been in Southeast Asia recently. You two are really carved from the same mold. Both of you are as smelly and hard as the rocks in the latrine." Master Lord Su said. Su Yu laughed. "Then you're right. I'm better than my dad in one aspect." "What is it?" the old man asked him seriously. "I'm more handsome than my dad." Su Yu's smug words made Lord Su laugh. "Young master, the dumplings are ready." "All right, I'll be right there." Su Yu held his grandfather's arm. "Old man, come in and eat with me. I can't. At my age, if I eat too much, it won't be easy for me to digest. You can go." The old man waved his hand. "Okay, then I'll go in." "Yes." Su Yu had just taken a few steps when he suddenly thought of something. He turned his head and asked Lord Su. Ah, I want to get married. Master Lord Su, what? Say that again? Master Lord Su thought he was hallucinating. Master, I like a girl. She's not from the entertainment industry, but from an ordinary family. She's very nice. I must marry her and give birth to a few great-grandchildren for you. Don't tell me you're teasing me by making fun of my old man. Master Lord Su obviously didn't believe Su Yu's words. Master, it's true this time. It's not a joke. You know, all these years, I've never discussed private matters with you. This is the first time I've spoken to you. After hearing this, Grandpa Su felt that it made sense. Does your mother know? No one else knows. I got your approval first. Otherwise, how would I dare to get married? Su Yu smiled. Actually, he already knew that his grandfather loved him so much that he would never interfere with him. What does that girl think? Is she willing to marry into our Su family? Master Lord Su asked wittily. Su Yu felt a little guilty. I'm trying to persuade her, but I believe it won't be a problem. Master Lord Su was speechless. Chapter 46:12. Get the girl first before you tell me. I feel embarrassed for you. With that, Lord Su walked into the depths of the garden with his hands behind his back. Su Yu went into his room to eat breakfast dejectedly. Perhaps it was because he knew that he had an appointment today. He was in a particularly good mood when he returned to the company for a meeting. Everyone in the company could tell that President Su was in a good mood today. President Su, you need to sign this document. Seeing that President Su was in a good mood, the finance director finally dared to take out the document that Su Yu had been upset about. Su Yu flipped through the document. The finance director was so scared that he didn't even dare to breathe loudly, afraid that he would be scolded. Unexpectedly, Su Yu only glanced at the finance director indifferently. You sure know how to pick the right time. The finance director smiled awkwardly. Without another word, Su Yu picked up the pen and signed it. It was extremely smooth. The finance director took off with the document. He wanted to run and shout at the same time. Everyone come quickly. President Su is in a good mood today. In the office. Boss, yes. I want to take 2 days off. Even you're bullying me, right? Su Yu looked at him. No, I wouldn't dare. Then why are you taking 2 days off? Su Yu was afraid that An wouldn't listen to him and meet that liar on WeChat. In the end, he would be completely hurt. I have an aunt. Her son is getting married tomorrow. Which aunt? I remember your aunt's son is only 11 years old. Not that one, another one. How about this? I'll go back to my hometown to attend the wedding tomorrow. I can provide a few luxury cars. What do you think? No need, I can go by myself. Don't mention it. I have nothing to do anyway, so I'll accompany you. Seeing Su Yu's firm attitude, and didn't dare to continue asking for leave. Boss, I'd better not ask for leave. I suddenly remembered that my aunt didn't treat me very well in the past. Yes, it's better if you don't go. Go back to work. And walked out in disappointment, but he didn't forget to pick up his phone and keep sending WeChat messages. Su Yu knew that this kid was lying. Xiaoan had been with him for many years. How could Su Yu not know what kind of relatives An had? However, even though the holidays were cancelled, he was still worried. Su Yu picked up the phone and dialed the internal number. Yuan Yu, from today onwards, follow An during the day. Don't let him go anywhere. Follow him after work too. I'll go find him when I'm done. Okay, President Su. Yuan Yu was the deputy leader of the security department. He was young and skilled. He and An hit it off very well. And didn't have any relatives or friends, so other than Su Yu, the only person he got along well with was Yuan Yu. Su Yu didn't want An to meet a girl he met on WeChat, so he asked Yuan Yu to follow him. Su Yu was also thinking that he should find a good girl for An. He couldn't let him stay single forever. It was time for him to start a family. In the afternoon, Su Yu took care of a lot of documents and had 3 meetings of different sizes. After rejecting all the social engagements, Su Yu drove away after work. In order not to attract attention, he drove a black Audi. After all, If a Lamborghini appeared on the streets of Second High, it would cause a commotion. When Suyu arrived, Huamin wasn't there yet. He picked up his phone and sent a WeChat message to Huamin. I'm here. Chapter 46:13. Okay, if you're hungry, eat first. I'll pay the bill later. What are you talking about? I can't afford the bill myself. Suyu retorted angrily. On the bus, Huamin looked at his phone and almost laughed out loud. From his tone, it was as if he could see Suyu's three-dimensional expression. I'm still on the bus. You still have to wait for me for 10 minutes. No problem, there's no rush. Be careful on the way. Then, Suyu played a game on his phone. Suyu liked white Versace. Compared to many luxury brands, this brand's price was acceptable. With Suyu's identity, he could afford to wear anything. However, he liked the design of this brand. It was the demonic style of the snake woman. Today, he was only wearing a pair of light-colored casual pants and a simple white short-sleeved shirt. In the middle was the snake woman logo. This simple casual style was Suyu's favorite. Other than the suits he usually wore at the company, almost all of Suyu's clothes were Versace. At this moment, two girls walked into the shop. They looked to be in their early 20s. After eating so much ramen, Xianxia's ramen is still the best, one of them said. Yeah, the food in our university's cafeteria is terrible. It's not even as good as our middle schools. Fortunately, it's close. The two of them walked in one after another, sat down, and ordered a bowl of noodles. Suyu was dressed in branded clothes and was handsome. The phone in his hand was the latest model on the market. These female students with strong vanity loved it the most. Hey look, that's so handsome. He looks like a rich second-generation heir. Looks are indeed my cup of tea. One of the girls who had plastic surgery on her face smiled and flipped her long hair. She walked over with small steps. She said in a tone that only existed in Korean dramas, "Little brother, can we add each other on WeChat?" Suyu was so focused on playing with his phone that he didn't think that she was talking to him. After all, he was already so old and still had to be hit on by these girls. "Little brother, please look at me." The girl pouted and looked at Suyu pitifully. Before Suyu could say anything, a voice came from outside the door. "Suyu, she's talking to you." Suyu raised his head and looked at the girl in front of him. She happened to block his line of sight, so he couldn't see Huamin. Suyu waved at the girl impatiently. "Please stand aside. I can't see my friend." The girl's expression changed slightly. She had such good looks, a good figure, and a pretty face. She had almost never been rejected. Why is it that this time, the girl stepped aside awkwardly and turned around to look at the girl who came in? Looking at Huamin's ordinary looks, she was even more dissatisfied. "Little brother, it's just adding me on WeChat. Do you have to be so petty?" This time, the girl stomped her feet and pouted, acting cute to the extreme. Suyu almost threw up. "You can ask my wife. If she agrees, I'll do it." Suyu pointed at Huamin and said. The girl's expression immediately changed. She didn't expect them to be husband and wife. This was a joke. She flirted with the couple. Huamin looked at the girl with a smile. "Why don't you add me on WeChat?" "It's okay, sister." After speaking, the girl awkwardly pulled her friend away without even leaving money. It was extremely unkind. When the owner's beef noodles were served, the two girls were already gone. Where did they go? The owner was puzzled. "Boss, give it to us. We wanted to order 2 servings too." "Thank you, Miss Hua. You've been patronizing our shop all these years." The owner obviously knew Huamin. After the owner put down the noodles, he glanced at Suyu. "Is this your boyfriend?" The owner actually started gossiping. Before Huamin could say anything, Suyu immediately corrected him. "I'm not her boyfriend." Only then did Huamin heave a sigh of relief. "I'm her fiancé," Suyu said again. Huamin. Chapter 46:14. "Miss Hua, you're getting married soon. Congratulations. Today's noodles are on me." The boss was really happy. Perhaps he had always thought that Huamin was a good person. "What are you talking about?" Huamin looked at Suyu and asked through gritted teeth. Did you see that? I cheated the boss out of a bowl of beef noodles. It's so worth it. That's all you've got. Huamin was both angry and amused. Su Yu changed the topic. Hurry up and eat. It won't taste good when it gets cold. Then, Su Yu swallowed the noodles in a few big bites as if he was eating the best food in the world. Boss, one more bowl. What? You really eat as much as you want for free. Huamin laughed at Su Yu. Am I the kind of person who's greedy for small gains? You are. Huamin was arguing with Su Yu and thought that he would retort. Unexpectedly, Su Yu took advantage of Huamin's distraction and used his chopsticks to pick up a mouthful of noodles from his bowl. Aren't you being too mean? Huamin was angry. I can't wait anymore and I'm hungry. If you think I'm dirty, you can give me the rest of your noodles. I don't think you're dirty. Don't even think about it. Huamin hugged his bowl and refused to let go. It was only 2 yuan worth of noodles, but the two of them were really playing hard. However, Su Yu was in a good mood. To be honest, Xianxia's noodles were not bad, but it was not at the level of being extremely delicious. The reason why there were still many customers over the years was that most of them graduated from second high school. Secondly, and very importantly, they had not increased the price for so many years. It had always been 2 yuan per bowl. Of course, it was not a very big bowl. It might only be a few mouthfuls with some minced meat. But it was still a reasonable price. With the current prices in Sea City, if they went to other noodle restaurants, the price would be much lower. A bowl of beef ramen cost at least 15 renminbi. The reason why he wanted to eat ramen here was because he knew that Huamin's alma mater was here. Secondly, she wanted to live a normal life with Huamin. Huamin also had a good appetite today. Su Yu ate 4 bowls in one go. Huamin also ate 2 bowls and added a lot of beef. When it was time to pay the bill, the boss refused to accept any money. He said that it was to congratulate Huamin on his wedding. Su Yu was also embarrassed. He secretly threw 100 yuan at the bar and left with Huamin. After eating and drinking to one's heart's content, it was easy for one to feel happy. When they walked out, there was even a slight breeze. It was a wonderful feeling. I'm a bit full. Let's do some exercise. Can you take me for a walk in second high? Su Yu suggested. Our school's field is very big. If you walk, you'll be exhausted. You're underestimating me. I usually work out like it's just a walk. I won't be tired. Then let's go. I'm happy to keep you company. Huamin rarely wore high heels, so he wore a pair of white sneakers every day. In winter, he would choose thick snow shoes. The two of them strolled by the field. They could vaguely hear the sound of students reading aloud from the school building. The two of them walked in the warm summer night. Neither of them spoke, as if they were afraid of breaking this beautiful and peaceful atmosphere. After a long time, Su Yu suddenly turned his head and asked Huamin, I heard that you were a super straight-A student in second high? Chapter 46:15. Huamin smiled but didn't say anything. What are you laughing at? Did I say something wrong? Su Yu was puzzled. No, you're right. It's just that I'm not only a top student in second high, but also in primary school and junior high. Naturally, I'm a top student in second high. Then why didn't you study abroad? I heard that you received a scholarship from a university in Singapore. After Su Yu arrived in the parallel world, he realized that the people here were the same as in the other world. However, their fates were somewhat different. For example, Ning Ziyuan married He-Man, not Wu Xiaoxue. When Huamin was in second high, she didn't meet Qin Chu. Huasiqian and Huamin were half-siblings. All of this shocked Su Yu. Later, he investigated the past of these people again and found out that Huamin had always been excellent since she was young. However, in the face of so many offers from foreign universities, she still didn't choose to go abroad. Instead, she stayed in a medical university in the city. After completing her undergraduate degree, she came out to work. Everything that had happened was a pity. Singapore, forget it, it's not fated with me. Huamin smiled bitterly, as if she didn't want to talk about this. Su Yu saw her expression and didn't continue to ask. You rich people don't understand the world of the commoners, Huamin joked. Su Yu nodded seriously. You commoners don't understand the world of the rich people either. Of course. That's why I've decided to pull you into my world of the rich people to understand. Huamin quickly shook her head. Forget it, I can't get used to it. Then I'll go to the commoner's world to understand. What do you think if I move near your house? Huamin was stunned. I've asked around. The Wu family next to your house is very sincere in selling, and the price isn't high. A courtyard is only 800,000 yuan. Auntie Wu's house? Huamin frowned. I'm not sure. My subordinate went down to discuss it. Su Yu, you're crazy. There's no sign of any demolition in our area. What's the point of buying that house? The environment is terrible, the air is foul, and the traffic is inconvenient. The roads are full of craters as if they were bombed by bombers. Even your Lamborghini would be bumpy over there. Huamin felt that it was not worth it for Su Yu. Why did he have to buy a one-story house and a small courtyard for 800,000 yuan? Auntie Wu's family was really greedy. It's not expensive, it's fine as long as I'm willing. Su Yu was happy. Then you can buy mine. I'll sell it to you for 790,000. If you pay in one go. I can even give you a discount. How about 78 yuan? Su Yu. Then, we can use the 780,000 yuan you gave us to buy 2 apartments in the suburbs. We can even buy my brother's wedding house, Huamin said happily. Su Yu, what do you think? Su Yu, buy mine. It's cheaper than Auntie Wu's house, Huamin continued to tease him. The problem is, I want to buy that house because I want to be your neighbor. Damn it, now you want to sell your house to me? Am I going for your Auntie Wu? Ha! Huamin bent over with laughter. He didn't expect Su Yu to be so funny. Su Yu didn't laugh. Instead, he looked at Huamin with a wronged expression. This damn girl's brain wasn't ordinary. How could she say something like that? Not only was she trying to steal from her neighbor, she even wanted to buy a wedding house for her brother. She was indeed China's best sister. What are you laughing at? Stop laughing. Be serious. Okay, let's stop fooling around. Don't buy my house, it's really not worth it. There was a developer who wanted it and negotiated with us. In the end, they offered 1,600 yuan per square meter. My house is only about 80 square meters, so the total price is only 128,000 yuan. If you give Auntie Wu 800,000 yuan at once, wouldn't she be ecstatic? I told my grandpa yesterday, I want to get married. Su Yu suddenly brought up this matter. Chapter 46:16. I'm quite surprised that someone like you would get married so early. Huamin looked down at his sneakers and said unhurriedly. What's wrong with someone like me? Did I commit murder or arson? Su Yu laughed. That's not it. I just think that children from super rich families like you are born with everything. You can't wait to eat all the delicacies in the world and flirt with all the girls in the world. You won't get married until you're 40. Very few people in their 20s are bound by marriage. Let's put it this way, isn't the son of a famous tycoon in China often on entertainment copyright in Sino Weibo? He's already in his 30s, but he still doesn't get married. Isn't it because he keeps changing online celebrities? Although it's exposed, he has no morals. Who doesn't get broken up when they're in a relationship? But if he gets married, it's different. If he dates an online celebrity behind his wife's back, it's cheating. He'll be scolded to death. Su Yu nodded. That makes sense. So, you don't have to be in such a hurry to get married. After all, marriage is a curse for you guys. Huamin said this from the perspective of a friend for Su Yu. There was nothing wrong with Su Yu saying that he wanted to get married. After all, the person who could marry Su Yu must be from a prestigious family. Ordinary families shouldn't be considered by the Su family. That makes sense, I've learned something. Su Yu bowed with both hands. Huamin smiled and rolled his eyes at him, knowing that he did it on purpose. Although what you said makes sense, I still want to get married, Su Yu continued. It's fine as long as you think it through. If you want to get married, then get married. Your family's money is like a gust of wind. It's easy to prepare for the wedding of the century. In 2 words, spend money. Huamin bent down and picked up a green leaf from the ground. Only Second Hai had this kind of leaf. Back then, the principal transplanted a few trees from a mountainous area. He didn't expect this kind of tree to be so awesome. It grew extremely lush on the school grounds of Second High. Huamin liked this kind of leaf very much. It was a little heart-shaped. Mian, what I'm worried about right now, that girl hasn't agreed to my proposal. It's not easy. Who would be so stupid to reject Su Yu's proposal? Huamin asked absent-mindedly while playing with the leaves. That's right. I also think she's retarded. How many people in the Su family want to marry into the family? Let's not talk about money and power. Just Su Yu's looks are off the charts? Su Yu stroked his chin with a narcissistic look on his face. Huamin turned to look at him and nodded. Yeah, your looks aren't just off the charts. I think they're off the charts. Why do I find your words strange? The more Su Yu thought about it, the more he felt that something was amiss. Haha, I didn't think too much. I was just praising you. No, you're obviously slandering me. The two of them fought all the way, and in the end, they were both exhausted. See, let's go back. It's too late. Huamin looked at his watch. It was almost 9:30. Okay, I'll drive you. Su Yu walked out of the campus with Huamin and returned to the parking lot. Then, the two of them got into the black Audi and left. Huamin leaned against the passenger seat. Perhaps she was really exhausted. Su Yu didn't know if she was asleep with her eyes closed the whole way. Su Yu played Bandri's Lioli Lakeside. Huamin felt even more comfortable. Then, she tilted her head and fell asleep. When they arrived, Su Yu didn't ask her to get out of the car. He waited for her in the driver's seat. Su Yu took out his jacket from the trunk and covered Huamin with it. Then he continued to listen to music in the car, looking at her red cheeks as she slept. Su Yu wanted to kiss her? This was the person he had loved for so long. Chapter 46:17. Su Yu slowly moved closer. The closer he got to Huamin's face, the faster his heart beat. He had never done something like this before. He was really scared, like a little boy seeing his favorite toy for the first time. Suddenly, just as he was about to kiss Huamin, Huamin opened her eyes. What are you doing? Startled, Su Yu quickly retreated back to his seat. Then, he adjusted his collar and looked embarrassed. Wow, Su, you took advantage of me. I didn't. Then what were you doing? I just wanted to kiss you. Bullshit, kiss me? Do you think we're in kindergarten? Huamin glared at him angrily. What? I just wanted to kiss you. If you don't like it, you can kiss me back. Shameless. Huamin was so angry that she almost rolled her eyes. For you, I can be shameless. What are you going to do about it? Su Yu said shamelessly. You can hit me or scold me if you want. Huamin looked angry on the surface, but she really couldn't bring herself to be angry. She only said bitterly, Su Yu, you're about to get married. Don't mess with me. If you want to be friends, then be friends with me. If you have other thoughts, then forgive me for not being able to keep in touch with you. I don't want to be the mistress of a rich family or the third party. I've already learned a lot from my mother. Don't try to coax me like I'm a 3-year-old child and talk about love. Love between a man and a woman is very simple. If you love me, then you should marry me, not sleep with me. Perhaps because she saw through her mother's pain, her mother originally appeared before Jiang Hong. It was Hu Jinghai who changed sides at the last minute and married Jiang Hong for the sake of the Jiang family's power. In the end, Huamin's mother was labeled as a mistress for the rest of her life. Huamin admitted that Su Yu was a good person, but he didn't want to follow in his mother's footsteps. In short, to her, it was wrong to be a mistress, no matter what reason one had. Su Yu wanted to laugh, but he was afraid of angering Huamin. Huamin seemed to have thought too much and misunderstood Su Yu. She didn't know that the person Su Yu wanted to marry was definitely her. Don't worry, if I succeed in marrying the girl I love, I will never look for you again. Su Yu said with a straight face. Huamin suddenly felt hurt. Although there was nothing wrong with what Su Yu said, it just sounded a little heartless, but she still felt so uncomfortable. Alright, I'm going back. Drive safe. Huamin opened the car door and was about to get out. Su Yu quickly chased after her and asked, Hey, you won't be angry tonight and block or delete me. You won't be that petty, right? Huamin didn't say anything and continued to walk forward. If you delete me or block me, then you're too heartless, you ingrate. Huamin stopped and turned around angrily. I am an ingrate. Before she could finish, Suyu rushed up to Huamin at lightning speed and gently kissed her on the lips. Then, he ran away. The entire process took less than 5 seconds. By the time Huamin reacted, the car had already started. Su, you bastard, you pervert. Huamin yelled angrily. Thank you for the title, I like it. Good night, my Dr. Hua. Huamin didn't understand Suyu's last sentence. Why did he call her Dr. Hua? Why did he think this title sounded good? Was he crazy? When she thought about how Suyu stole a kiss from her, she felt like she was dreaming. She reached out her finger and touched her lips, feeling a little dazed. Chapter 46:18. After Suyu kissed Huamin, he didn't contact her for a few days. Huamin was a girl who cared a lot about her face, so she didn't send Suyu a WeChat message. However, sometimes she couldn't help but look at Suyu's WeChat moments. Unfortunately, Suyu didn't post anything these days. Could it be that something had happened? Huamin was a little worried and started to let her imagination run wild. She even looked for news about Suyu on the entertainment pages, but there was no news. Then what did Suyu do these 3 days? He was at home and didn't even go to the company. He was only at the Su family's old mansion. Then he was a good boy for 3 days, serving his mother, his grandfather, and his father who just came back. He didn't contact Huamin these few days because he was preparing a big move. Su family's old mansion, morning. Tell me, what do you want? Master Lord Su had seen many people in his life and was the best at reading people's minds. His grandson had been serving him tea and water these few days, so he must have a purpose. After Lord Su said this, Mr. and Mrs. Su couldn't help but laugh. The little brat must have a request. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so obedient since he was young. As expected, the older the ginger, the spicier it is. Grandpa, I do have a request, and my parents. After saying this, Suyu deliberately looked at his parents' expressions. Mrs. Su had always spoiled her son and wasn't worried that she wouldn't agree. However, Mr. Su had a bad temper and spent less time at home than Lord Su, so this was a rare opportunity. Suyu decided to give it a try. Of course, he wasn't confident in his heart. This wasn't like the other world. In that world, his parents and grandfather spent a lot of time with Huamin, so they liked Huamin very much. However, in this world, no one knew Huamin, so it was still very abrupt to suddenly talk about marriage. Tell me, what's the matter? Suyu's father lowered his head as he ate. He didn't even look at Suyu. Dad, I don't dare to say, don't dilly-dally like a man. Suyu's father really had a bad temper. Suyu didn't say anything, but the old man was already unhappy. You hasn't said anything yet? What are you doing with the kid? Mrs. Su felt sorry for her son and scolded her husband. Suyu gritted his teeth. He knew that it wasn't a good idea to continue dilly-dallying like this. It might even backfire. Therefore, she put down her chopsticks, closed her eyes, and said loudly, Master, Father, Mother, I want to get married. After saying this, Master Lord Su reacted calmly. This was because Suyu had warned him beforehand. However, this was the first time Mr. and Mrs. Su had heard that their son was getting married. They were still very shocked. What? You're getting married? How old are you? Mr. Su frowned. 28 years old, Suyu said confidently. 27 years old, Mr. Su corrected. Yes, weren't you the same age when you and my mother gave birth to me? Suyu was indignant. That era was different. What era is it now? Who would get married so early? Have you done well in your career? Suyu's father didn't seem to agree with his son's marriage. He didn't even ask who he was getting married to. He just felt that Suyu was getting married a little too early. After all, in a rich family, many rich second-generation heirs only thought about getting married after they were 35 years old. Some even had children in their 40s. This was already a common phenomenon. Lord Su didn't say anything and just drank his nourishing soup. Seeing his father's attitude, Suyu was a little anxious and retorted, Dad, don't you want a grandson? What do you mean? She's pregnant? Mr. Su's eyelids twitched. Chapter 46:19. Su Yu was a little embarrassed. He also felt that what he said was too dangerous. Did you get her pregnant? Mrs. Su was also very anxious. Although the Su family was rich, it was a traditional family. She really didn't want her son to bully a girl. If he really got her pregnant, it would be really troublesome. After all, this kind of thing was more embarrassing in a family. Lord Su was drinking soup. When he heard this, he pricked up his ears and listened carefully. He didn't care about anything else. He only cared about when he could have a great-grandson. What are you guys thinking? If I get married, I can have children, right? Strange, don't you not like children? Lady Su remembered that her son was like this when he was young. He didn't have much patience for babies. It was still the same when he grew up. Relatives and friends would bring their children to visit. Su Yu basically treated them coldly. He didn't provoke the brats, but he definitely wouldn't get close to them either. Mrs. Su used to be worried that Su Yu would become a dink in the future, so she tried to persuade him. Su Yu didn't like children, and he still didn't like children. However, he liked his own children. After all, children were the best of his family. When the twins were born, Su Yu was as busy as if he was their biological father. Su Yu gave 100% of his love for the twins. When Su Yu left, the twins were almost 4 years old. Su Yu had never gotten angry with them. He didn't know if it was because he wanted to marry Huamin too much or because he missed the twins too much. Su Yu felt that he didn't want to delay it any longer. Otherwise, with Huamin's slow personality, who knew how long it would take for him to get married? Yeah, I don't like children now, but I like my own children. After Su Yu finished speaking, Lord Su and Mrs. Su both laughed. I often watch the news, but I've never seen you in a relationship. Don't tell me you're going to marry a female artist from your company? Mr. Su kept a straight face. Of course not. Besides, Dad, entertainment news is just entertainment. Not many of them are true. Don't believe what they say, Grandpa. Say something for me. I've mentioned this to you before. Su Yu saw that he couldn't withstand his father's interrogation, so he decided to look for reinforcements. The old man slowly put down the soup bowl. He smiled and said, "You've made a good move. You've warmed up to me in advance. I was wondering why you suddenly respected Grandpa so much. It turns out that you're waiting for me to save the day for you. Grandpa, you love me the most. I want to get married, I want to get married. I don't care." Su Yu simply acted coquettishly and shamelessly in front of his grandfather. Master Lord Su was a sucker for this. Ever since he was young, he would satisfy Su Yu as long as it wasn't against morality or the law. Dad, why don't you listen to what the child says about that girl? As soon as the old man spoke, Mr. Su was indeed obedient. If that's the case, then tell me, what's her situation? Mrs. Su was very happy. As she stirred the milk tea, she looked at her son with a loving smile. Grandpa Dedma, I'll be honest with you. She's not some socialite's daughter. She's not some highly educated doctor. She doesn't have a prominent background, and she doesn't even have a decent job. She's just an ordinary girl. She doesn't have a face that can topple countries, she doesn't have the ability to act coquettishly, and she doesn't have a scheming mind. I like her. She's my cup of tea. The first time I saw her, I felt like she was my entire world. She's brave, strong, kind, and righteous. Chapter 46:20. Su Yu said so much in one breath. Although there weren't many words of praise, they were all used to describe Huamin's ordinariness. But at the end, there was a huge reversal. The general meaning was that she might not be outstanding in their eyes, but she was the girl he loved. Such a long speech shocked everyone. Lady Su was even a little touched. She felt that someone who could make her son go to such lengths couldn't be too bad. Has the girl agreed? Master Lord Su still remembered that day when Su Yu said that the girl hadn't agreed. That girl? I think she's interested in me too. It's just that because of our family background, she doesn't trust me. She always thinks that I'm the kind of person who plays with feelings. So, in order to express my sincerity, I want to marry her directly. Do you know her well? Mr. Su asked seriously. I do. I've actually known her for a long time and have been observing her. It's just that I've only started to officially interact with her recently. Since you make it sound so amazing, why don't you bring her back another day and let us see her? Lady Su couldn't wait to say. Sure. But the three of you have to help me do something first. Su Yu's foxtail finally showed. What is it? Lady Su was stunned. Su Yu looked at his grandpa and then at his parents. He said embarrassedly, I hope the three of you can go to that girl's house together and propose marriage. If she agrees, I'll bring her back openly. Propose marriage? Mr. Su was stunned. At my age, I've never done such a thing. Master Lord Su laughed. All three of us have to go? Your grandfather too? Lady Su was a little uncertain. Yes, Grandpa has to go too. Only then can we show our sincerity. Also, you can't go empty-handed. You have to bring the betrothal gifts. Mr. Su, Mrs. Su, Master Lord Su, but don't worry, I'll pay for the betrothal gifts myself. You just have to help me formally propose marriage as an elder. Will you be rejected? What if you are rejected? That would be so awkward. Grandpa Lin laughed. Grandpa, don't jinx it, okay? Su Yu looked helpless. Master Lord Su's mischievousness meant that the old master was in a good mood, so his words were equivalent to an indirect agreement. Mr. and Mrs. Su naturally didn't dare to refute. Dad, this is too weird. We haven't even seen what the girl looks like, and we're just going to propose marriage. I'm glad you like it. It's settled then. After making the decision, the old man walked towards the study. Before she left, she didn't forget to ask Su Yu, when are we going? There's no time to lose. Let's do it this afternoon. She's on the day shift. She gets off work at around 5 o'clock. If she gets home, she'll have to take the bus at 6:30. So, let's go to her house around 7 o'clock. How many cars should we drive? Lord Su asked Su Yu seriously like a child. I think since it's a marriage proposal, we should make it grand. How about 10 cars? It'll be perfect, Lady Su suggested. No, please don't. Mom, their family keeps a low profile. We don't want to scare them. I plan to drive my Audi A6. That's right. It's good to keep a low profile. Don't put pressure on your future in-laws. The old man nodded and went upstairs. Mr. Su was still not used to it. Su Yu, are you serious? If we go and the marriage proposal succeeds, if you go back on your word, I'll break your legs. Before Mr. Su could finish, Su Yu immediately leaned forward. Holding his father's chubby chin, he smiled and said, Dad, I'm begging you this time. I promise I won't regret it in this life. I won't regret it in my next life, or the life after that. Chapter 46:21. Huamin got off work at the same time as usual. While he was on the bus, he kept checking his phone. There was still no contact from Su Yu. He was a little disappointed. It seemed that these rich kids were indeed unreliable. It had only been a short while, and he was already tired of the old after kissing her. Besides, she knew her own limits. With such a plain face, she shouldn't even think about seducing a wealthy man. Huamin laughed at himself and leaned against the window of the bus, feeling a little melancholy. When he got home, Jixin was already back. He was busy in the kitchen with his mother. Sis, you're back. Yeah. Mom made cornmeal noodles today. It's stewed with shredded potatoes and celery. Is it appetizing? Jixin smiled mysteriously. Yeah, I haven't eaten it in a long time. I'll change into my home clothes first and come help you guys later. Huamin walked back to his room listlessly. What's wrong with my sister? She doesn't seem to be in a good mood. Jixin asked his mother in a low voice. Your family must be tired recently. Day and night shifts. I'm confused. Yang Meirong looked at her daughter's expression and guessed that it was because of work pressure. The family was busy. Just as they were about to eat, they suddenly heard someone knocking on the door. Because it was summer, the family had a wooden square table under a big tree in the yard. However, it was quite old, and the stools were still old-fashioned benches. Hearing the knock, Jixin quickly got up to open the door. When he opened the door, He was a little dumbfounded because he didn't know any of these people. "Excuse me, is Mian home?" Suyu asked first. "Yes, she is. Come in." Jixin opened the door and let the guests in. Huamin turned his head. When he saw Suyu, his heart almost stopped. The problem was that Suyu didn't come alone. There were 3 older people behind him. He knew Lady Su because he had seen her a few times at Southside Recuperation Center. So, Suyu brought his family here? At the thought of this, Huamin felt extremely nervous and even a little helpless. Yang Meirong stood up and looked at these strangers. She didn't know what to say. Suyu introduced himself in a flattering manner. "Hello, Auntie Yang, my name is Suyu. I'm Mian's." Suyu glanced at Huamin and continued, "I'm Mian's boyfriend. I brought my family here today to discuss our marriage." Yang Meirong felt like her brain was about to short-circuit. She couldn't react in time. Jixin coughed violently, wondering what was going on. She remembered that her sister had just broken up with Ning Ziyuan not too long ago. How could she secretly have another boyfriend? And looking at the way this family was dressed, they seemed to be quite rich. Wait, what did this little brother just say? His name is Suyu? That's Suyu. Could he be the big boss of Imperial Star Group? Jixin suddenly felt that his brain capacity wasn't enough. "Sis, what's going on?" Jixin asked Huamin in a low voice. "How would I know?" Huamin was also confused. "Since you're here, if you don't mind, let's have dinner together. But there's nothing good at home, and I didn't prepare anything in a hurry." Yang Meirong was a good person, but she felt that tonight's simple meal wasn't very good for guests. "Mom, I'll go out to the restaurant and get some takeout," Jixin said. "Okay." Yang Meirong took out 200 yuan from her pocket and handed it to Jixin. "Auntie, it's okay. We like corn noodles. Can we sit down and eat together?" Suyu looked at the food on the table. Chapter 46:22. Of course. Just like that, the 4 members of the Su family suddenly joined in. The 7 of them sat around the table and ate the cornmeal noodles. The old man was very happy and ate 2 big bowls. "When I was in the army was stationed in the northeast. This was the most common food in the cafeteria. I haven't had this flavor in many years. Did you make it yourself?" Yang Meirong quickly nodded. "Yes, uncle, we made it ourselves." "You're Mian, right?" Lady Su looked at the girl sitting next to Suyu and looked at her carefully. Huamin quickly stood up when Lady Su called out his name. "Hello, Auntie Su. Sit down, sit down. You don't have to be so polite. Don't be nervous." Lady Su vaguely remembered seeing this child at the hospital. Then, she remembered Suyu's subtle reactions after he was discharged from the hospital during the car accident. Lady Su understood the cause and effect. Although this nurse didn't look very exquisite, there was definitely a reason why her son liked her. "To be honest, we're here today to propose marriage." Old Master Su had always been swift and decisive in his actions. He didn't waste time on nonsense. Therefore, after taking a sip of water, he went straight to the point. Yang Meirong was shocked. Suyu's father was also an honest person. He took out an exquisite silver suitcase from behind him. Then he opened it and there was a pile of red yuan inside. "In-law, here's 3 million yuan. We in the north have a tradition of giving gifts. I don't know how much other families give, but because we were in a hurry, we didn't take a lot. Just treat this as the deposit for the child's wedding. We'll make up for it immediately if you need it later." Jixin almost choked on his noodles. 3 million yuan? Deposit? This wasn't a dream, was it? Huamin was also stunned. It wasn't because of the amount of the gift, but because he wondered why Suyu's family was here to propose marriage. Calling her mother-in-law? What was going on? Huamin secretly stepped on Suyu's foot, then whispered angrily in his ear, "Suyu, what's going on?" "That's what you saw," Suyu said happily. "You dare to trick me?" Huamin was furious. "It's precisely because I'm serious that I brought my entire family here to propose marriage. If I was playing with you, would I need to use my old man? Do you think anyone can meet my grandfather?" Suyu wasn't boasting. Old Master Su's military rank was so high that even the high officials would tremble when they saw him. The Su family had been able to stand strong all these years because there were too many people in the family who had joined the military and held important positions in the government. What's more, the Su family had never been involved in scheming wars. The old man had dedicated his entire life to the country, so he was full of righteousness and spoke with confidence. When Huamin heard that it was really Su Yu's grandfather, he almost went crazy. She didn't know how high Su Yu's grandfather's military rank was. However, she had long heard rumors that Su Yu's grandfather often held meetings in the capital. He was an old leader who was with the big shots every day. He wasn't someone ordinary people could afford to look up to. Lady Su took out a red bag. It was quite big. She placed it in her arms, opened it, and took out the items one by one. In-law, I've prepared a dragon and phoenix bracelet, a necklace, and a phoenix coronet. These were all prepared for you a long time ago. Now that you're here to propose marriage, I'll put them on and give them to Mian. I'll be happy if the two of them are happy. Looking at the Su family's lineup, Yang Meirong was a little confused and didn't know what to say. Yang Meirong glanced at her daughter. Huamin was still scolding Suyu. However, to everyone, it looked more like they were whispering to each other intimately. Ahem, Mian. Yang Meirong coughed lightly and called out to Huamin. Chapter 46-23. Mom, what's wrong? When did you start dating? Why didn't I know? Now that the in-laws are here, I'm not prepared at all. I'm so ashamed. It was obvious that Yang Meirong was very nervous. Although she didn't know Su Yu's true identity, she heard that his family's surname was Su. Yang Meirong more or less guessed that it might be related to the Su family, the #1 family in Sea City. Therefore, she nervously placed her hands on her knees and shook them. Although she was a person who had seen the world, and when she was dating Hua Zhenghai, she often attended banquets for wealthy families. But now, she hadn't experienced that kind of life for many years. She suddenly didn't know how to face it. This is actually... Huamin wanted to explain. However, Su Yu interrupted him. Su Yu stood up and bowed to Yang Meirong. Annie Yang, it's my fault. Because the paparazzi often take photos, I didn't expose my relationship with Mian. I was afraid that it would affect her life, so I've been hiding it from my elders. Last night, I told my family about the situation. My family agreed with me, so I came today to propose marriage. I only hope to receive Auntie's blessings. I will use my life to protect Mian. Huamin was a little surprised. Even if Su Yu was acting, he was too good at it. However, it wasn't easy to drag his family out to cooperate with him, right? Huamin's mind was in a mess. Jixin secretly used his phone to search for Su Yu's family background. When he saw these key figures, he was dumbfounded. Old Master Su was a commander-level figure. He was a hero who could shake the entire Liaobei army if his feet trembled. Such a family actually came to propose marriage to his sister? Jixin felt like he might be dreaming, and he secretly pinched his thigh and almost died from the pain. Su Yu. Huamin turned around and glared at him. Mian, since things have come to this point, let's be honest. Only a relationship with the parents' blessing is a happy one. Plus, I don't want you to feel wronged. To prove that I'm not just playing around with you, I want to marry you. For some reason, Su Yu's eyes reddened when he mentioned the word marriage. Huamin was good at reading people's minds. He didn't see any trickery in Su Yu's eyes, only sincerity. Strange what? How long had she known Su Yu? It hadn't even been a month, right? They were even talking about marriage? To this extent? The problem was, she hadn't agreed to go out with him yet. Was this forcing a duck onto a perch? Thinking of this, Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It couldn't be Su Yu. Even the way he did things was so strange. He didn't follow the routine at all. Don't normal people get to know each other, interact, date, get engaged, and get married? Why did the two of them seem to know each other? A lot of feelings were left out in the middle. Jixin gently nudged his mother and secretly showed her his phone. After Yang Meirong saw it, her eyes widened and she stood up with a whoosh. We're from a small family. I don't know what to do. If I offended you in any way, please forgive me. Yang Meirong never thought that her daughter would one day date the child of the city's #1 family. That kid's grandfather was a famous figure in the country. Yang Meirong was scared out of her wits. Yang, don't be nervous. I'm not here to inspect as a chief. I'm Su Yu's grandfather, just an elder. I'm here to discuss the marriage of the two children. Old Master Su was very kind the entire time and didn't put on any airs. But Chief, we're obviously not compatible. Our small family isn't good enough for the Su family. Yang Meirong's hands were still trembling. Chapter 46-24. After hearing Yang Meirong's words, Lady Su smiled. Sister, what era are we living in now? Why are you still talking about social status? When I married into the family, Dad didn't make things difficult for me. Now that it's my grandson's marriage, he won't deliberately make things difficult for me. One of the principles of the Su family is that it's fine as long as the child likes it. Lady Su was a very cultured person. She wouldn't get angry easily and had always been gentle. Her smile and words made Yang Meirong feel a lot better. At this moment, Huamin suddenly stood up and said apologetically, Master Lord Su, Uncle Su, Auntie Su, I'm sorry for being rude. I want to talk to Su Yu alone, is that okay? It's okay, go ahead. The old man waved his hand. He knew that young people nowadays were all open-minded and would be passionate when they were in a relationship. Su Yu, come with me. Huamin gestured for Su Yu to enter the house. He brought him into his small room and quickly closed the door. Myung, don't be so impatient, okay? I'm not ready yet. How about after our marriage is settled, find an auspicious day and come to my house, then you big head. Huamin punched Su Yu on the head, but he didn't use much force. Why did you hit me? What do you think? Huamin crossed his arms. I brought my family here to propose marriage so sincerely. It's so formal. Weren't people like this in ancient times? Su Yu, when did I agree to date you? Are you thinking too much? Huamin was furious. You didn't, but it's okay. We can ignore the details of dating and talk about it after we get married. Let's get married first, Su Yu said confidently. So you're forcing me to do something beyond my ability? Huamin glared at him. No, I'm forcing myself on you. After hearing Su Yu's shameless words, Huamin was so angry that he laughed. Su Yu, believe it or not, I'll stab you to death right now. Huamin deliberately scared him. Whatever, as long as you're happy. Su Yu smiled. Huamin, Su Yu, are you crazy? Did someone cast a spell on you? Huamin was puzzled. Maybe. So, did you find someone's a spell on me? Huamin, Su Yu, stop it. We can't get married. But because we don't have feelings for each other and we know each other very well. It'll be more troublesome to get married in the future, Huamin analyzed logically. It's okay, I don't have any objections. As long as we get married, I'll listen to you. If you tell me to go east, I'll go west. If you tell me to raise a dog, I'll never raise a chicken. Huamin, also, even if you're on top during our wedding night, I'm fine with it. Su Yu, you're shameless. Huamin's face immediately turned red. Madam, lower your voice. The elders are all outside. If you shout like that, they'll think we're doing something naughty in the room. Upon hearing Su Yu's words, Huamin immediately stopped talking. Su Yu, what are you doing? Getting married. The goal is clear. Get married and have kids. I'm only 24. I don't want to have kids so early, Huamin said helplessly. It's okay, I can wait for you. We can have kids whenever you want. I won't make things difficult for you. Su Yu even went up to Huamin to comfort him. Get out of my way. You're not here to propose marriage today. I think you're here to bully the people and kidnap them with your family's power, Huamin scolded Su Yu angrily. You can interpret it that way, as long as you're happy. Su Yu was still smiling. No matter what Huamin said, he wasn't angry. Chapter 46-25. Su Yu, look at yourself in the mirror. You're just the dumb son of a landlord. Huamin dragged Su Yu to the dressing table. Su Yu looked at the mirror and smiled. The dumb son of a landlord has good taste. Stop fooling around. Can you take your family home? That's impossible unless your auntie rejects us. Then we'll come back another day. If they go well today, our marriage is basically set. Are you forcing me to get married? I'm not, I'm going through the proper procedures. Su Yu insisted. Su Yu, you know we're not suitable for each other. If you wear inappropriate shoes, your feet will get hurt, understand? I'll wear whatever size you wear. I'll listen to you completely. Su Yu was stubborn. No matter what Huamin said, Su Yu wouldn't listen. He was determined to get married. Then I'll go out and tell your parents that I don't like you. Huamin used his trump card. Su Yu didn't say anything. Huamian continued. Your family members are all well-educated and reasonable. They don't look like unreasonable people, so I'm sure they'll respect my words. Mian, if you want to do this, then starting tomorrow, I'll drive my Lamborghini to Southside every day to send you flowers and lunch filled with love. During the night shift, I'll set off fireworks for you at the entrance of Southside. When the time comes, I'll let the whole world know that you're the girl that I, Su Yu, like. You're completely shameless, aren't you? Upon hearing Su Yu's idea, Huamin's scalp was about to explode. After all, she was a low-key person. If Su Yu openly confessed his love to her, she would go crazy. So, why don't you give me a chance? What chance? Huamin glared at him. Marry me. Don't even think about it. Huamin flatly refused. Don't worry, listen to me first. We can get married without getting a certificate first. Then we can spend a year together. If you don't want to, I won't touch you. A year is enough for us to get to know each other. After a year, if you still think we're not suitable for each other, we'll divorce. You won't lose anything. If you still think we're good after a year, you can go to the Civil Affairs Bureau with me to get a certificate and we can have a wedding. After Su Yu suggested this idea, Huamin was a little tempted. However, after thinking about it, he also felt that something was amiss. Su Yu, don't even think about lying to me. Isn't this the plot of his own novel? I won't fall for it. Who knows, maybe one day you'll get me drunk and sleep with me. When that time comes, I'll get pregnant. How can I not get married? Huamin wasn't just for show. Su Yu's tricks didn't work on her. If you don't agree, then forget it. I think I should bring my family to visit your house once a week. Huamin was very angry at Su Yu's pressure, but he couldn't bring himself to hate him. This was because Huamin knew that a man like Su Yu wouldn't casually propose marriage out of impulse. The Su family wasn't stupid. There must be a reason for them to come all the way here to propose marriage, right? After talking to Su Yu for a while, the two of them walked out one after another. At this moment, it was already very lively outside. Yang Meirong and the Su family were chatting. What's going on? Huamin muttered in confusion. Jixin ran over. Sis? Then can I brag to everyone that I'm Su Yu's brother-in-law in the future? Chapter 46-26. That's right, but I'm not bragging because it's the truth. Su Yu raised his chin smugly. Jixin was so excited that he didn't know what to say. She felt as if her sister could really marry Su Yu. Then he would be able to do whatever he wanted in school, right? Haha, he remembered that last time, a third-year senior had been together with young Master Tang because of his cousin. Although they had only been together for less than a month, he had gotten a Maserati sports car. He had bragged about it for an entire year, and then many people said behind his back that this guy's sister wasn't in a relationship with young Master Tang. She was just a little wild model who was being played with. She was just a high-class prostitute. Who did she think she was? Now, his sister's situation was different. The Su family had come to propose marriage. If this matter was exposed, how many people would die of envy? The more Jixin thought about it, the more excited he became. Huamin and Su Yu returned to the dining table. There wasn't a single strand of cornmeal left. Grandpa, you're really generous. You ate several bowls yourself. Su Yu looked at his grandfather and complained with a smile. What's wrong? We're family from now on. What's wrong with me eating a bowl of noodles? Then, Lord Su looked at Yang Meirong and Huamin. I say, in-law, How about you bring the children to our house tomorrow? We can talk about the details of the wedding. What do you think? I'm fine with it. I'll have to trouble you with this. Yang Merong actually called him in-law. Huomin's mind went blank. Then, he tugged at his mother's sleeve. Don't call me in-law yet. It's too early, Huomin said tactfully. It's not early. The wedding date is set for the 9th of next month. They said that they're getting engaged this weekend. Huomin was shocked again. At this time, Lady Su stood up and walked to Huomin. His right hand took out a white silk handkerchief. Huomin didn't know much about silk, but when he touched it, he felt that it was much smoother. Lady Su handed her hand to Huomin. Take this. Yu's grandmother gave it to me back then. I heard that it's been passed down in the Su family for hundreds of years. I don't know if it's worth anything, but it's a family memento. The handkerchief in Huomin's hand slowly unfolded against the wind. There was a white jade bracelet lying inside. The color and texture of the bracelet was simply a rare treasure. If this item were to be auctioned off, it would fetch at least 100 million, right? Huomin was so scared that he didn't dare to take it. Auntie, this is too expensive. I can't accept it. You must take it. As Yu's wife, you have the right and qualification. Lady Su spoke very gently, but she was smart enough to make Huomin unable to refuse. Huomin wanted to say something, but Su Yu pointed at the jade bracelet. When my grandmother was still alive, she had a professional professor appraise it. This is a tribute from the Ming dynasty that was passed down to my ancestors. My ancestor was a high-ranking official in the Qing dynasty. It's said that there are no more than 3 of them on the market now. One is in the National Museum, one is in the hands of the wife of a famous Hong Kong businessman. The last one is in my house, so this bracelet is worth at least 100 million yuan. Huomin, be careful. If you keep pushing it around and it breaks, it's on you. Huomin's family was really suffering. This family of old and young came to force him to marry her, and they even used such ruthless methods. It was an eye-opener for her. While Huomin wasn't paying attention, Lady Su picked up the table and skillfully put it on Huomin's wrist. Look, it's so beautiful, Huomin. Chapter 46-27. Su Yu's heart bloomed like a flower. His mother was indeed smart. The older, the wiser. As expected, even someone as smart as Huomin was suppressed. Auntie? Huomin held the bracelet with one hand and wanted to say something to Lady Su. Mian, that's all for now. It's getting late, we won't disturb you today. Tomorrow, your family can come to our house for dinner. I'll ask you to pick you guys up. I'll try my best to satisfy any of your requests at the wedding, such as which designer's wedding dress you like, whether you like a Chinese wedding or a Western wedding. Huomin's heart collapsed at this moment. It had only been an hour and a half since she came home from work. How did he suddenly become a member of the Su family? He accepted a huge gift, a priceless jade bracelet, and now he had to participate in the wedding design. Huomin felt that if he wasn't crazy, then everyone was crazy. At this moment, Old Master Su also stood up slightly. In-law, I took the liberty of visiting you today. Please forgive me for any inadequacies. Uncle, you're too polite. Yang Meirong was shocked by the Su family. The noodles were delicious. Thank you for your hard work today. Su Yu's father was rarely kind. In-law, if you like it, you're welcome to come often in the future. Auntie Yang will definitely come often. Then, Su Yu glanced at Mr. Su. Dad, you drive my car. Take Grandpa and Mom home first. You're not leaving? Mr. Su looked at his son calmly. I want to stay and wash the dishes, Su Yu said seriously. Do you know how to do it? Mrs. Su looked at her son and smiled. I know how to do it right away. So you can go back first? We don't need you to wash the dishes. Go back. How can you let your father drive? Yang Meirong felt that it was inappropriate and chased Su Yu back. Okay then, Auntie Yang will leave first. Okay, drive slowly and be careful. Jixin, bye-bye. Logically speaking, this should be the first time Su Yu had met Jixin, but he called out his name smoothly as if they were very close. Jixin was still a little shy, so he smiled at Su Yu. Mian, rest well, See you tomorrow. Su Yu looked at Huamin with tenderness in his eyes. Huamin didn't know what to say. After a while, he said, Su Yu, send me a WeChat message when you get home. I have something to tell you. Faith, Mian. Su Yu immediately became obedient. When they walked out, Lady Su even joked with Su Yu, Mian, your words are even more effective than mine. That's for sure, so I'll side with my wife in the future. Mom, don't be too sad, you naughty brat. Lady Su laughed and punched Su Yu's shoulder. The Su family left just like that. Then, Yang Merong turned around and looked at Huamin. Huamin thought that his mother was going to scold him, so he didn't say anything. Unexpectedly, Yang Merong only said, the Su family is really good. They don't put on airs at all. Mian, when you get married, you have to take good care of your in-laws. Mom, Xixin, hurry up and carry the gift money from the Su family in. Mom, we're rich. 3 million yuan. Can you buy me an electric car? I don't want to take the bus anymore. Huamin broke down again when he heard the conversation between Xixin and his mother. You can't touch this money. This is your sister's gift money. When she gets married, we have to send it back intact. Although we're poor, we can't do anything that will make people look down on us. Mom is right. We can't embarrass my sister. When my sister gives birth to a son in the Su family and stabilizes her position as the young madam, we'll talk about it. Jing Jixin, shut up. Huamin turned around angrily. In such a short time, Jixin even made up a child. Chapter 46-28. After Su Yu returned home, things weren't that simple. He had a small family meeting with the Su family. Lord Su spoke first. What do you think of that child? Everyone tell me. Su Yu immediately became nervous. He knew that even if everyone objected, he wouldn't be afraid. However, if his family said that they didn't like Mian, he would still feel uncomfortable. I think that child is quite calm. Although she's young, she has a good aura, Mr. Su commented. Mrs. Su smiled. She looks a little ordinary, but it's good that she has brains. Our Su family isn't marrying a vase home. The most important thing is that she has substance. If you likes her so much, she must have something special about her. Today, I gave her the bracelet to represent my position. Mom, I love you. Su Yu excitedly pounced over and hugged Lady Su. Just now at Mian's house, Lady Su saw that Mian was about to reject the bracelet, but she still smiled and let her accept it. Su Yu was really touched. All of this was thanks to his mother. Yeah, I don't have any objections. I heard that she's the daughter of the Hua family. Lord Su only used the word daughter and didn't use the word illegitimate daughter. What kind of person was Grandpa Su? If he wanted to investigate someone, he would even investigate their ancestors. Su Yu hurriedly explained nervously, Grandpa, you can't blame her for that. I know, let me finish. We don't want to interfere with the Hua family's matters. It has nothing to do with us whether they acknowledge her as their daughter or not. We want to marry this child. We agree to your marriage this time, but you know that I've been in the military for a long time. I only have one request. Grandpa, please tell me. You're not allowed to get a divorce, and you're not allowed to fool around outside. I didn't ask you what you did before you got married. After you get married, you have to be a man and take responsibility for me. Grandpa, I promise I'll do it. I only want one wife in my life. I will never do anything to let her down, nor will I do anything to bring shame to the family. Su Yu knelt on the ground and swore to the heavens. Mr. and Mrs. Su had never seen their son so serious. All right, get up. I hope you didn't do it on a whim. Managing a marriage is also a skill. You still have a long way to go. Take it slow. In the end, Master Lord Su said something meaningful. The Su family did not object to Su Yu's marriage. After all, this kid had always been reliable since he was young. This time, they were definitely determined to get married. According to past practice, the rich and powerful families would definitely oppose it. But what kind of person was Lord Su? How could he not know his grandson's temper? Lord Su didn't want to make things difficult for Su Yu. He wanted him to follow his heart when it came to marriage. The most important point was that the Su family was already very powerful. They simply disdained using the method of marriage to make peace with other families. Therefore, Huamin, an ordinary girl, had already been tested by the Su family. Of course, the only thing she won was Su Yu's passionate love for her. She still didn't know how much Su Yu loved her. After Su Yu left the Su family's old mansion, he drove away. Huamin sent a few WeChat messages, but Su Yu didn't reply. Huamin, are you there? Come out. Huamin, Su Yu, stop playing dead. What's going on with the marriage proposal? Huamin, Su Yu, if you don't reply, I'll immediately block you. As soon as she sent this message, Su Yu immediately replied, Mian, come out for a moment. Chapter 46-29. Huamin, question mark. Su Yu, come to your house right now and get dressed. Huamin, why? Su Yu, I'm taking you out for supper. I saw that you didn't eat a single bite of noodles just now. Neither did I. I'm starving. My grandpa and the others are full, but we stupidly missed dinner. Huamin, you're still thinking about food at a time like this? Su Yu, if you're unhappy or have any complaints, you can scold me whenever you see me, okay? Huamin was silent for a while before he finally got dressed and left the house. It was summer in the north, so the temperature was a bit low at night. Therefore, Huamin wore a set of sportswear. He wore a long-sleeved black sports jacket, red loose sweatpants, and white sneakers. It was a very trendy outfit, but the brand was too niche. When Huamin left, it was almost 10 o'clock. Jixin and his mother were already lying down to rest. In order not to disturb their sleep, Jixin and Huamin both had their own rooms. His mother had been living in a small bedroom that was built later, and she was used to it. When Huamin opened the door, he saw Su Yu's black Audi parked outside. Get in. Su Yu waved his hand, and Huamin sat in the passenger seat. What do you want to eat? Huamin stared at Su Yu with a straight face. Su Yu immediately smiled shyly. That's not good, right? We're not married yet. Plus, this car is too small, I can't use it. What the hell are you thinking? Huamin was so angry that he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Didn't you say, you want to eat me? Su Yu tilted his head and began to act coquettishly. Su Yu, you're so dirty, I can't even communicate with you. It's okay, you can use body language. After Su Yu finished speaking, Huamin immediately pinched him hard, causing him to grimace in pain. Don't misunderstand. Mian, what I meant was, you can use sign language to show me. You're getting the wrong idea. Stop bullshitting me. Do you think I don't know what you're thinking? Huamin glared at Su Yu. Then, great aunt, shall we go and eat first? When I'm full, you can torture me as much as you want. Huamin didn't say anything. He turned his head and looked out the window. Su Yu started the car slowly and asked her, what do you want to eat? I don't have much of an appetite. You can look around. Huamin really couldn't eat anymore. Too many things had happened in one night. All right, let's go and have a spicy hot pot, Su Yu said with a smile. At this moment, Huamin took out a wrapped jade bracelet from his pocket. Su Yu, I don't want this. Give it back to Andy. But Su Yu's face darkened. Because it's too expensive, and I didn't say that I would become the daughter-in-law of the Su family. Huamin felt that Lady Su wouldn't explain it to him at all, so he could only give it to Su Yu. Su Yu was a little upset. Is this how you trample on our family's sincerity? I'm not. I'm really, Mian, you're a smart person, and you don't like hypocrisy? So, please tell me, are you still unable to let go of Ning Ziyuan? Of course not. Then you don't like me at all? But this question was actually very vague, because no matter how smart a person was, they wouldn't be sure if they liked someone, especially if they hadn't established a relationship. If you say that you don't like me at all, I'll take the bracelet now and send you home. Then, I'll take the gift money and apologize to your mother. Then, I'll go home and apologize to Grandpa and the others. I see you like you very much. But I still don't want to force you. Su Yu, take the bracelet back first. We'll talk about the rest later. Huamin only felt that this 100 million yuan bracelet was too extravagant, and he didn't dare to wear it at all. Su Yu glanced at the table. With his left hand on the steering wheel, he picked up the bracelet with his right hand, opened the car window, and was about to throw it out. Huamian reacted quickly and pulled him back. Su Yu, what are you doing? Huamin was scared out of his wits. Such a fragile thing would shatter if he threw it out, right? Chapter 4630. Throw it away. Su Yu looked very silly and naive. Huamin frowned and grabbed Su Yu's hand tightly. Are you crazy? This is your family heirloom. What does it matter? If you don't marry me, I won't marry a wife. My grandma's things can't be passed down, so I'll stop thinking about it. Huamin was so angry that he wanted to say something, but he didn't know what to say. Su Yu, this guy, could sometimes anger you to death with his words, but you couldn't do anything to him. Huamin knew that Su Yu had a lot of money, and Su Yu didn't care about money. So if this thing really broke, it would be a loss. Forget it, forget it. I'll keep it for you. Huamin was really afraid that Su Yu would foolishly destroy the bracelet, so he quickly snatched it from Su Yu's hand, carefully wiped it, and put it in his pocket. She only lowered her head to wipe the bracelet, but she ignored the smug smile on Su Yu's face. He knew it would be like this. There were times when Mian took the bait. It seemed that Su Yu came back with the IQ of a few years later. Sometimes, if he was lucky, he could still tie with the 24-year-old Huamin. Of course, he couldn't bear to destroy his grandma's things. He just wanted to hit Huamin, but he didn't expect this silly girl to take the bait. Actually, Huamin didn't think that Su Yu was just doing it on purpose. However, she still didn't want to take the risk of destroying this priceless treasure. Of course, the main reason was that she had a good impression of Su Yu. There was no doubt about that. Otherwise, even if Ning Ziyuan came to propose with the dragon spring sword, she would kick him away. Huamin thought that Su Yu would take him to eat Xian's ramen. To her surprise, Su Yu drove into a secluded alley after a few turns. Then, he vaguely saw the lights of a small shop. There were also 2 or 3 tables of guests eating at the entrance. You can even find this place? You must be a god. Huamin expressed his admiration. This area was also an old city renovation area. It was filled with small alleys. Even the GPS could not find these alleys because the roads did not have names. Of course, Su Yu had done his homework and sent people to investigate. Otherwise, he really didn't eat this kind of snack, but Huamin liked it. Now, Su Yu only had one principle: as long as Huamin was happy, everything was fine. What would you like to eat? The elderly granny asked with a benevolent expression. 2 sesame seed cakes and 2 bowls of beef vermicelli soup. All right. The granny then turned around, and Su Yu found a small wooden table in the corner and sat down. She even helped Huamin wipe the chair with a tissue. Huamin sat down and looked at the small shop. How come I don't know about this place? It's so magical. A few friends introduced it and said that the taste is very authentic. Granny is from Anhui and has been in the north for more than 40 years. After coming here, although she's used to the customs here, she misses the specialties of her hometown. It's said that the sesame seed cakes and beef soup are both Anhui specialties. I've never eaten them before. I don't know if northerners are used to it. You can try it first. Huamin nodded. Before eating, Su Yu came up with this little story. Huamin was in a very good mood. It was easy to feel happy when eating in a small shop like this. Especially when he was hungry. In fact, Huamin also liked to eat cornmeal noodles, but today, she was so scared by the Su family that she didn't dare to eat a single bite. Now, her stomach was growling. After a while, the steaming soup and sesame seed cakes were served. Huamin picked up his chopsticks and said, "Let's eat our own food. Don't look at each other." After saying that, Huamin lowered her head and ate like a tomboy. It wasn't rough, but it was definitely not elegant. Su Yu took the opportunity to take out his phone and gently took a picture of Huamin. The sound of the camera echoed clearly in their ears. Chapter 4631. Su Yu, what are you doing? Huamin raised his head warily. I'm taking a picture of the old lady behind you. I don't believe you. Show me your phone. No. Hurry up and give it to me. No. Do you believe that I'll splash a bowl of beef soup on your face? Huamin tried to scare him. Su Yu suddenly shouted, Everyone, come and see my fiancée is going to splash beef soup on me. She's trying to murder her husband. Hearing Su Yu's shout, the people at the surrounding tables immediately looked over. Huamin's face immediately turned red. Su Yu, keep your voice down. Do you want to die? At this moment, someone at the table next to them laughed and sighed. Young people nowadays really like to show off their love. They're always showing off their affection. Single people like us are really hit hard. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry when he heard this. He temporarily forgot about looking at the photo. The two of them ate until they were full. Even Su Yu, who had eaten all kinds of delicacies, was very happy. Of course, it was because he was eating with Huamin. Su Yu felt that he couldn't go to Xianxia's ramen with Huamin anymore. Although Qin Chu wasn't here, it was still a place where Qin Chu and Huamin commemorated each other in another world. He couldn't do something so tasteless. Therefore, he planned to make this beef soup shop a place where he and Huamin often came to. He even called it the Memorial of Love. It was almost 11 p.m. after supper, and Huamin was already a little sleepy. Su Yu drove her straight to her door. I'll pick you guys up tomorrow. Come to my house for dinner. When Su Yu said this, he was very nervous because he was afraid that Huamin would reject him. Huamin just smiled and changed the topic. Su Yu, give me your phone. What? I want to see the photos. Hurry up and hand it over, or you won't be able to leave. This is my territory. Huamin placed his hands on his hips and displayed his imposing manner. Looking at her cute appearance, Su Yu couldn't help but laugh. Are you tactfully asking me to stay the night? I can think about it. Stop spouting nonsense. Hand it over and I'll spare your life. How about this? If you let me kiss you, I'll even give you my phone. The shameless mouth is out again. Then you can give me a kiss. We're family anyway. There's nothing wrong with kissing each other. Su Yu boasted shamelessly. While Su Yu wasn't paying attention, Huamin took a few steps forward and snatched Su Yu's phone. Su Yu reacted faster and took the opportunity to kiss Huamin's face. Su Yu, before Huamin got angry, Su Yu started the car and drove away. Hey, your phone. Huamin raised Su Yu's phone and yelled. I'll leave my phone with you for safekeeping. I'll lend it to you for a day. After speaking, Su Yu drove away. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry as he took Su Yu's phone home. When she got home, her movements were very light, afraid that she would wake up her mother and Jixin. After Huamin returned to his room, he was too lazy to take a shower. He quickly washed his face, changed into his pajamas, and lay down. Then he took out Su Yu's phone and touched the screen. It showed that he had entered a 6-digit password. Huamin immediately felt like he had been played. His phone had a password, how was he supposed to read it? Anxious, she casually entered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who would have thought that she would be able to guess this idiot's password correctly? At that moment, she suddenly felt like she had hit the jackpot. Then, Huamin couldn't wait to open Su Yu's phone and open the photo album. After seeing the photo, Huamin was slightly surprised. Chapter 4632. There were only a dozen photos in Su Yu's photo album, but they were all photos of her. There were photos taken secretly in the hospital, from her back and from her side. There were also photos taken from upstairs of Huamin passing by downstairs. Although she couldn't see her face clearly, she recognized her own clothes. Huamin never thought that Su Yu's photo album would be filled with photos of her. If this was Su Yu's way of picking up girls, then it didn't make sense. How did Su Yu know that Huamin would snatch his phone today? Did he do it on purpose? It didn't seem like it, because Su Yu didn't intend to give her the phone. She snatched it herself. If Su Yu really expected this, then it could only be said that this person was too shrewd and terrifying. At this moment, her phone suddenly rang. It was an unknown number. Because it was Su Yu's phone, Huamin didn't dare to pick it up or hang up. She could only mute her phone and wait for the other party to hang up. But this number kept ringing over and over again. Finally, Huamin picked up the phone. "Hello, we're staff from CCTV. You participated in our event previously, very 6+1. Before he could finish, Huamin hung up the phone decisively and didn't forget to curse, "Damn liar." Yes, she often received such phone scams. They didn't say that you won a prize, but that you were chosen by something. Then they invited you to try a new product. They would give it to you for free, but you had to pay for the postage yourself. Another time, even more ridiculous, the scammer said that you were accepted by Tsinghua University and that your acceptance letter was with me. Huamin replied wittily, "I don't want it. It's yours." Even the scammer was shocked. After Huamin hung up, she suddenly received another message. It said, "Big sister, I was just joking with you. It's me. Hurry up and pick up the phone. You're occupying my phone and not picking up my calls. You're really bullying me." Seeing this sentence, Huamin immediately understood that the person pretending to be a swindler was actually Su Yu. Huamin answered Su Yu's call with a smile. "Hello, liar. Goodbye, liar." Hey, madam, don't hang up." After Su Yu begged him, Huamin did not hang up the phone. "This is my other number. You have quite a lot of phone numbers. How is it? Is it easy to use? Do you know the password?" Huamin looked at the phone with disdain. In today's society, only an idiot like you would use 123,456 as the password. I'm impressed. What do you know? Scammers usually can't think of this password. People who find my phone usually go to the repair shop to swipe it, but my phone has a function. As long as someone swipes it, it will immediately send out a location alarm. Then, in less than 10 minutes, my people will find my phone. How can there be someone as perverted as you, taking my phone and entering 123,456? It turned out that Su Yu deliberately set a trap for the scammer, but Huamin easily guessed it. It was like a professor at a university teaching a group of students. Then he asked them, "What's 1+1? The 20 or so top students in the class didn't dare to answer. The answer was it was 2. Why didn't they dare to answer something that even elementary school students knew? Because all of them were overthinking the question. Su Yu used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the same reason. "Su Yu, are you a peeping Tom?" "What?" Huamin's sudden question stunned Su Yu. "Why are there pictures of me in your phone?" Huamin was nervous when he asked this question. Chapter 46-33. Su Yu was silent for 5 seconds before he remembered that there were many photos of Huamin in his phone. Of course, they were all secretly taken when he came back this time. Although the angle wasn't good, he still liked to look at them. Every night before going to bed, he would flip through the photo album. It seemed to have become Su Yu's habit before going to bed. "Because I like you," Su Yu said casually. Huamin didn't know what to say. "Do you know that it's illegal for you to secretly take photos like this?" "I'll sue you." No. Don't sue me. Can we settle this privately?" Su Yu said with a smile. Knowing that he was deliberately trying to make her laugh, Huamin smiled. "Mian, I beg you, don't delete those photos, okay? But because they're all I have." "Su Yu, you're good. You're experienced in picking up girls. If I wasn't trying to stay awake, I would have been bewitched by you." "Me? Really, don't delete the photos." "No, I'll delete them." Huamin said this in a fit of pique, but Su Yu was silent. "Su Yu? Are you still there?" "Yeah, I'm here." Su Yu's voice was obviously depressed. "I didn't delete them." For some reason, she suddenly wanted to coax Su Yu. She always saw him smiling mischievously. Occasionally, she would feel that he was silent. It was a strange feeling. "Okay, thank you, Mian." Perhaps the photos were really important to him. Mian didn't delete any of the photos. She didn't delete any of the photos, not even one with a blurry face. This was Su Yu's phone. It was already his, so she wouldn't delete it. After chatting for a while, the two hung up. Lying in bed, Huamin couldn't fall asleep. She picked up his phone again. Of course, she wouldn't look at Su Yu's WeChat like other women. She wouldn't look at his call records either. She just thought that it was fun. She looked at the games that Su Yu usually played and realized that there were games like Candy Crush. Then, for some reason, he opened Su Yu's memo. He didn't expect Su Yu to be a person who liked to use memos. There were many records of the company's meetings and itineraries. Then there was the theme of how many countries and places he had traveled to. At the end of the long list, there was only one message, and the subject was Mion. At this point, Huamin's heart skipped a beat. She opened the memo nervously. There was only one sentence written on it. Can I change it to you in my next life? Shed your pride and love me to the point of insanity. For some reason, Huamin felt like crying when he saw those words. It felt incomparably familiar, however. She had never seen this sentence before, nor had she heard anyone say it to her. It was a magical feeling. Then, for some reason, Huamin burst into tears. She even thought about it exaggeratedly. Did Su Yu write this to Huamin in his previous life? Then, did Su Yu reincarnate with his memories from his previous life? Huamin didn't sleep well that night. She originally thought that her relationship with Su Yu would be a melodramatic drama, but she always inadvertently discovered Su Yu's delicate feelings. The next day, Huamin went to work as usual, but she was absent-minded. Su Yu's phone was strangely quiet. No one called. Of course, it was Su Yu who set up the interception. It was to prevent those who knew or didn't know from harassing Huamin. Sister Mian, do you have any wishes? The young nurse beside her asked out of the blue. Me? Maybe my only wish is to become a doctor one day? Huamin smiled. After work, Su Yu drove to pick up Huamin and then went to Huamin's house to pick up Yang Merong and Jixin. He took them back to the Su family's old mansion. Huamian thought that the Su family would only have those 3 people, but when she arrived, she realized that there were more than 20 family members and friends of the Su family. There were 3 extra tables in the dining room. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.